Sports and entertainment in ancient Rome. A glimpse into the Roman love for spectacle. The ancient Romans were a people who deeply valued entertainment and spectacle, integrating these elements into both their daily lives and their grand public ceremonies. From the thundering excitement of chariot races to the blood-soaked sands of gladiatorial arenas, Roman sports and entertainment were not just pastimes but essential components of their culture and political life. These activities reflected the values, social hierarchies, and power dynamics of the Roman world, offering both an escape and a display of the empire's grandeur. Gladiatorial games, the heartbeat of Roman spectacle. At the center of Roman entertainment were the gladiatorial games, a tradition that captured the imagination of both the elite and the common people. These brutal combats, often fought to the death, took place in grand amphitheaters like the Colosseum, the architectural marvel that remains one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Rome. Gladiators, who were typically slaves, prisoners of war, or condemned criminals, were trained to fight with various weapons and armor. They were divided into different classes based on their fighting style and equipment, such as the heavily armed Myrmilla, the lightly armored Thracian, or the net-wielding Retiarius. Despite their often low social status, successful gladiators could achieve celebrity status, winning both wealth and the adoration of the crowds. Some even gained their freedom after a series of victories. The gladiatorial games were more than mere entertainment. They were a tool for political leaders, especially emperors, to gain favor with the populace. These games were often funded by politicians or the emperor himself as a form of public service, a way to demonstrate generosity and keep the masses content. Some name of the most famous gladiators are Spartacus, Marcus Attilius, Tetrad, Priscus and Verus, Spiculus, Flamma, Kerpiphorus, chariot races. The thrill of speed and rivalry. If the gladiatorial games were the heart of Roman spectacle, chariot racing was its soul. The Circus Maximus, the largest stadium in Rome, was the epicenter of this sport, capable of holding over 150,000 spectators. Chariot races were the most popular and enduring sport in ancient Rome, drawing fans from all social classes. Races featured teams of horses pulling two-wheeled chariots at breakneck speeds around a central barrier, or spina, in the circus. The races were highly competitive, and the charioteers, often slaves or freedmen, could become incredibly wealthy and famous if they were successful. The charioteers were associated with teams known as factions, each identified by a color: reds, blues, greens, and whites. These factions inspired fierce loyalty among fans, leading to intense rivalries that sometimes erupted into violence both in and out of the stadium. The excitement of chariot racing lay in its unpredictability. Crashes, known as naufragia, were common and added to the thrill of the event. The races were not just about speed but also strategy, as charioteers had to navigate tight turns and outmaneuver their opponents while maintaining control over their powerful horses. Theater and performing arts, a stage for Roman life. While the Romans are often remembered for their love of violent spectacles, they also had a deep appreciation for the performing arts. Theaters in Rome, such as the Grand Theater of Pompey, hosted a variety of performances ranging from tragedies and comedies to mime and pantomime. Roman tragedies often drew on themes from Greek mythology or history, while comedies, popularized by playwrights like Plautus and Terence, focused on everyday life and social satire. These plays were performed during public festivals and were accessible to all citizens, reflecting the Romans' belief in the importance of public entertainment. Mime and pantomime were other popular forms of entertainment. Mime performances were often humorous, sometimes crude, and involved slapstick comedy, while pantomime was more refined, with performers using expressive movements to tell stories, often accompanied by music. These performances were enjoyed by audiences of all classes and were a staple of Roman cultural life. Animal hunts and naval battles, exotic displays of power. In addition to gladiatorial combat, Romans enjoyed other forms of spectacle that demonstrated the empire's power and reach. Venationes, or animal hunts, were staged in amphitheaters and featured exotic animals brought from across the empire: lions, elephants, bears, and more. These animals were often pitted against each other or against human hunters, known as venators, in deadly combat. The hunts were a display of Rome's dominion over nature and its ability to procure and control wild beasts from the farthest corners of the known world. Even more extravagant were the naumachia, mock naval battles staged in flooded arenas or specially constructed basins. Rome first hosted such staged naval battles in 46 BC following Julius Caesar's quadruple triumph. celebrating his subjugation of Gaul, modern France, Egypt, King Pharnaces of Pontus and King Juba of Numidia. These rare and costly events involved real ships and combatants, often prisoners or slaves, who were forced to fight to the death. The Naumachia were massive spectacles designed to awe the public and demonstrate the engineering prowess and wealth of the emperor or sponsor. Public baths and social life, the heart of Roman community. Beyond the grand spectacles, everyday entertainment in Rome often revolved around the public baths, or thermae. These baths were more than just places for cleansing. They were social hubs where Romans of all classes could exercise and gossip and relax. The baths typically featured a range of facilities, including hot baths, caldarium, warm baths, tepidarium, cold baths, frigidarium, and even swimming pools, natatium. The baths were also centers for exercise, with facilities for various physical activities, including wrestling and ball games. They often included gardens, libraries, and lecture rooms, making them places of both physical and intellectual rejuvenation. The Roman baths were a vital part of daily life, reflecting the Roman value of leisure as an essential aspect of a well-rounded life. Banquets and feasts. The art of dining and entertainment. For the Roman elite, entertainment often took the form of lavish banquets and feasts. These gatherings were opportunities to display wealth and status, with elaborate meals featuring exotic dishes, copious amounts of wine, and various forms of entertainment, including music, poetry recitals, and performances by dancers and acrobats. Dining was an art in Rome, with guests reclining on couches and enjoying multiple courses over several hours. These banquets were not just about food but also about socializing and networking, as they provided a venue for political discussions, alliances, and the exchange of ideas. The legacy of Roman entertainment. The sports and entertainment of ancient Rome were not mere diversions. They were deeply woven into the fabric of Roman society, reflecting its values, politics, and power structures. From the bloody contests of the gladiatorial arenas to the refined performances of the theater, from the roaring crowds of the Circus Maximus to the quiet conversations in the public baths, these activities provided Romans with a sense of identity, community, and pride in their empire. Today, the remnants of these grand spectacles, amphitheaters, circuses, and theaters, stand as testaments to a civilization that understood the power of entertainment to unite, inspire, and sometimes control its people. The legacy of Roman sports and entertainment continues to influence modern culture, reminding us of the enduring allure of spectacle and the universal human desire for both competition and community. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you in next video.